So I just saw the new film After Yang, which is directed by Kogo Nada, who has directed one feature before this, and it's called Columbus. Which, fun fact, that movie takes place in a town 20 minutes from where I live, in my state. We don't have much, so I'm very proud of that. Anyways, Columbus was a movie that I really enjoyed. It's about two people in different points in their lives, but they're both having existential crises, but they bond over the architecture in Columbus while kind of exploring their own emotions at the same time. The film has a very grounded and dreamy feel to it that it just makes it feel overall poetic. It's a style that puts a big emphasis on characters and using the elements of film to better understand them, even though they're not necessarily talking all the time. It's a very beautiful and surreal way to tell a story, which I know that may not be for everyone because they could be slow and they're full of talking, but I don't know, I just really gravitate towards that kind of stuff. Which now brings us to After Yang.
Come on, Yang.
So yeah, I was really excited for this film, and not only does he bring that same style to this film, but as a filmmaker, I feel like he has greatly improved at telling his stories. So After Yang takes place in a futuristic, modern world where robots have been created to be servants, or in this case, babysitters. And you follow a family who's experiencing a malfunctioning robot, and they are trying to get him fixed. And what makes this story so touching and personal is Kogo Nada does a really great job at highlighting the importance of this robot in particular, Yang. And Yang has a very rare defect that basically makes him unfixable. So the dad in the film, who is played by Colin Farrell, has to ask himself, is Yang replaceable? And while he's doing this, he's also going through Yang's memories and realizing that there was a lot more depth to Yang than he thought. And again, Kogo Nada did a really great job in Columbus and showing the full range of human emotion. And so when you take that and apply it into this movie about a story of a robot that's not even human, you get this real beautiful and existential look at what does it even mean to be human. Yang has been with his family for a really long time, and he basically serves as the older sibling to their daughter Mika, along with forming some important relationships all by himself. And so you get this really unique take on loss and grief, because you're not just losing a robot, you're losing essentially a family member, and all this while realizing that he had a life of his own outside of this family. And the way Kogo Nada is able to depict this without having everyone being a crying mess is really what makes him a master. Because this movie is very short and undramatic when it comes to performances. Jake is the character that you follow for the majority of the film. He's the one that's going through Yang's memories, and his performance is very self-contained and quiet. It's what Kogo Nada is able to do with every single frame of this film, that Kogo Nada shows what these characters are going through without them having to say any words at all. Everything from the frame of the shot to the music and to even the aspect ratio, there's not a single detail in this film that wasn't articulated with precise care. And these small details are what makes this journey feel so raw, because Jake can't always have this big reaction whenever he's touched by Yang's actions or range of emotion. So it's up to Kogo Nada to show that to us without showing that to us. Also, the performance from Justin H.M. as Yang was really good. Along with Colin Farrell, he carries probably the most emotional weight in this film. Even though he does play a robot and his performance is a bit more restrictive than the others, his line delivery was incredible. The music in this film is very melancholy, so you have lots of piano and violins, and it's really beautiful to listen to. Same thing with the cinematography. The cinematography in this film is gorgeous. It's constantly changing things on you. The aspect ratio changes frequently, and it's not in this big and flashy way that throws off the movie's vibe, but it's enough for it to be a beautiful and unique experience. Overall, After Yang feels like a story that could have worked with any runtime. The themes of grief, loss, and humanity are some of the best I've ever seen depicted, and This should cement Kogonada as one of the most talented filmmakers working today. If I had to think of any complaints, I would just say I wish we could have seen a bit more of the wife's perspective. I think I understand the reason why it was told in this way, but I still wish we could have seen a bit more of her relationship with Yang. Also, 10-hour dance loop, please. And yeah, I think I'll just leave things at that. After Yang has my full recommendation, if you found the concept intriguing, of course. It's easily the best thing I've seen all year, which is kind of saying something because I loved Batman. If I had to give After Yang a score, I would give it an 8 out of 10. For now, the cool thing about this movie is that if you can't go out to a theater, you can watch it on Showtime. That's where I watched it on. Personally, the theater experience is always better. I'm going to try to rewatch this in a theater soon, and when I do, I expect to love this movie way more. Anyways, that is my review for After Yang. Sorry that it was a short one, I know. If any of you guys have seen After Yang or even Columbus, really love to know your thoughts on it. Or if not, does this concept sound like something that intrigues you? Let me know. As always, appreciate you guys for watching. Bye.